Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I am your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant co-host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And Sir Gavino, we are in person.
It's been too long.
It's been a really long time. It's been since... Was it when I was in Kentucky?
I think I came after that.
I hope so, because that was like June or July last year.
It's been too long. I don't know. Move to Kentucky. That's your fault.
It's you move back to me.
Okay. That's the plan. That's the plan. But I don't know if we'll be through the siege yet or not by then.
We're just gonna speed up the process. That's fine.
There's
like 4 houses in my neighborhood for sale.
Oh, we can record every day.
Exactly. It'd be easy. I mean, we can just walk to each other's houses.
That sounds like a downside.
Sounds like a downside to our significant others.
I don't know.
Great upside for us.
I don't know.
Think about all the Warhammer we could play.
Just thinking about your ugly ass walking through my door in the middle of the day.
I'm gonna kick down the door every time. I'm not gonna walk in.
You wouldn't even be able to own a door. You come and do that.
It's like that fucking Dan Cook skit where the B&E.
The B&E.
Guys, we're reviewing the last book of the Horus Heresy.
This is it.
We're done.
This is it.
It's been episode 2.5 years of this, Gavin. Did you think we would be still recording 2.5 years?
I didn't think we'd be recording after you had a kid. That's weird.
That's fair. I mean, it's still pretty early.
I'm not saying it's weird that you had a kid. I'm saying that it all happened.
Yeah. A lot has happened.
I grew a mustache,
which is the biggest surprise of the whole thing. Also, I have not mentioned this yet. I did mention this on the Discord. One of our fellow guildmates from Tacticus did some painting for us on a couple of models. I will be doing a giveaway for one of those. I want the other one to be for us as like a mascot.
A mascot? Oh, which one's the mascot?
I will let the winner choose theirs.
Ooh, I could get down with either one of them.
They're both really fucking good.
They're really good. Yeah, like amazingly painted. So yeah.
And from the Ukraine, so long journey.
Yeah.
That those models took here.
That's sweet. What a cool... Our viewers are like awesome.
Yeah, they're insane.
And I will be at one point in time, Daniel did give me a gift card for my birthday to get something to drink on the podcast. So we had a bunch of stuff here today in person, but we will be utilizing that next time we're in person for sure. So yeah, giveaway is on the way. I would assume in a couple weeks. Yeah,
so I think we will announce it for our preview of the first book of the Siege.
Perfect.
So you'll have a few weeks. We plan on doing some specials. 3. We want to do one of the preferred reading order and what you should read for. You don't have to go through the pain that we have gone through for the last 2.5 years. We will streamline this motherfucker.
It's been painful. We're gonna take it down to the page number.
Yes, I would like to revisit Primarch rankings, but I'm hoping we have our episode with Horus Hour, and I want to bring them their Primarch rankings as well and do it all together.
They just started the Siege too.
Yes. They were in a hiatus for a while, so it's cool that happened.
They asked us. This was actually thinking back to it. It's a very funny moment because they asked us, they're like, do you think you'll get to the Siege by the time they release the last book? And then GW was like, Volume 1. So we're good. But yeah, it's crazy how we've made it there. So much reading.
A lot of reading.
So much reading.
I mean, I've read more in the last 2.5 years than
in my life.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
you were a big reader.
I was a big reader. I mean, especially as a kid, like I used to read like Goosebump books.
Yeah,
like
they were great.
2 or 3 a day for like 2 years.
That's unhealthy. How?
Why do you think I'm so fucked up?
How
Gavin?
young of a kid are we talking here?
I don't know, probably like 1st grade.
Okay, here's my 1st grade reading. You ready for this?
You played Pokemon and got Tourette's.
Yeah, I got Tourette's from Pokemon. It's my special attack.
It's super effective.
So we had, do you remember the AR system? People in the US may remember this, but it was like you would read books in elementary school and they were worth so many points.
Yep.
So you'd
I
see
was
them.
always like top 2.
Yeah, so you had to get a certain amount of points, but books had like a minimum ceiling, or what would you call that? Floor, minimum flooring, right? So like you could never have a book worth less than 0.5 AR points. So me and my friend at the time would take like
It was fucking Marcus.
well, his name was Matt, but it's not that Matt.
Dang, that's
It's
disappointing.
not. It's not the Matt you're thinking of. But we would read like child books, like 20-page picture child books with 0.5 AR points, and then we take the quiz on them. It's like 4 questions. We did 8 of those, and then we were done in a week. We didn't have to read, but you were over there top 2.
Breaking the system from an early age. I respect it. Yeah, I mean, I was reading like fucking like Harry Potter, like
Still have
chapter books in like 1st, 2nd grade. I loved reading at the time.
Yeah.
And then I read the Horace Harris, and that all went downhill. Yeah. I read Born of Flame. I was like, I'm never reading a book again. I read Mark of Cow, and I was like, this might be it for me. Then there's the Outcast Dead. I was like, God damn it.
But Buried Dagger, not one of the ones that made me hate my life.
No, I don't think it belongs here. I still don't understand Death Guard love.
No, not at all.
I honestly feel like I respect. Yeah, exactly. I respect Mortarion less.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know. We'll get into the book.
Absolutely.
First off, as always, guys, hit us up on our Discord. You find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theherесylodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube at the Heresy Lodge. If you play Tacticus, that's where we got our commission from. Check out our guild. We're a part of the Pants of Horus, fellas. Check them out on Discord, discord.gg/Pants of Horus. I should have brought the models up here to show them. They're awesome. Check them out on the Discord for the giveaway. I will probably just leave an announcement.
We'll show them next week for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the things. Gavin, the Buried Dagger.
Well, what are we drinking here?
Oh yeah, we are drinking stuff. So we've been talking for a while. So we've already gone through a bottle of mead.
we did get some mead today, and it's my favorite mead.
Yes. So the mead that we finished before we started was from Artisan Meadery. Have we had Dragonheart on there before?
Yeah, I have. I've drank like 3 bottles in one sitting of Dragonheart when I was in Greenville.
So we had Dragonheart. Honestly, I think Dragonheart was my favorite. I really like Banana Foster, but it's
key lime.
I wish I would have like done that one first and then this one. I think
that's like grapefruity.
Yes, and this one is like
Banana Foster's.
I don't want to say like darker taste, but like
very nutty.
Yes, it's not what I would want to drink after drinking something fruity.
Key lime pie is my favorite from them, actually.
Like I said, I like key lime pie.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we've got an assortment of beer. We'll let you know if we open one up what we're drinking.
There's a good possibility when the band's back together, it's unhinged. This is how we got beer to trade.
This Crafted is in Ohio. So close.
So it sounds like
when you make a trip,
I just go AWOL Memorial Weekend and we go to Ohio.
I'm gonna be
you're gonna be
in a tournament.
Oh, you're gonna be on a tournament.
Yeah,
in Ohio?
In Knoxville.
That's not Ohio.
Rocky Top. If you're there, let me know. We'll have some mead.
We're going to have to make a weekend trip. We also are expecting a package from a Fort Wayne meadery. We'll have to check out.
Yeah. This is the best mead, like craft mead.
Nearby for sure.
Yeah, I think I've had, honestly, other than like, I really like just the basic liquor store mead that they sell, the Vikings Blood.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, I must have got some.
Yeah,
for us, but then I saw the Banana Foster. I was like, oh man, Gavin's gonna love me so much.
It's great. Yeah, and like, I consider the Viking Blood stuff like liquor store. You can get that almost every liquor store. This is, you have to find it.
Yeah.
And this is the best one that I found because all these other meters are like
too sweet.
Mountain of sugar, or they taste like a seltzer.
Yes.
which is really confusing to me.
Yeah, like I get
This
it's
is how you make me.
I get the sugar in it is honey and honey's sweet, but there's a balance. And when it's just thick honey in my mouth, I'm just like, oh
Yeah, it's a lot.
Anyway, Buried Dagger. What are your initial thoughts of this book?
Well, first off, the biggest issues I have with this book are more like structural issues,
Logistical?
well, political. So many things. One, book 54.
54.
Why?
Yeah, I
Would have been
still
better.
completely believe Heralds of the Siege should have been the last book, and
Yeah.
Peals of Midnight should have been the last story.
And what's wild is it was an anthology.
Yep.
And it still should have been the last book. I
Yep.
agree with you. And the one before that should have been Slaves of Darkness.
Yep.
This should have been right before Slaves of Darkness.
Yes. Yeah, I think I agree.
So that's a little weird right off the bat. Second problem is it's 14 chapters. We talked about this in the preview.
Well, it's 7. 7 intervals.
7 intervals, 7 chapters. 7 times 7. What is that? Nurgle. So, I mean, I get there what they were doing, but it was a little bit rough to that. Third problem, this was so crazy to me. This book is 3 different stories that are practically not connected in any way.
Yeah, I want to reiterate like what I said in the preview, where I think this would have been better broken up into short stories. Which
This is
I
a
hate
short
to
story
say.
book.
Yes,
You're right.
It's literally just 3 different short stories.
Mm-hmm.
You have the story of the creation of the Grey Knights. You have,
which was so garbage, by the way. In my opinion, we'll talk about it later.
Yep, you have the backstory of Typhus and Mortarion,
which was the best part.
Yeah, I agree.
Of this entire book.
Yep, and then you have present Mortarion and Typhus and the downfall of Mortarion, which I thought was really, really poor.
Here's the thing about that section that blew my mind. If you
How stupid Mortarion is?
No, Mortarion's so dumb.
Like, I don't know. When you fucking kill all the navigators and like, yeah, that's probably fine.
Oh my God.
I would be like, wait a minute.
I agree, and I'm gonna get on that rant bus. But I will say the thing that kills me is Buried Dagger. When I thought of the synopsis of Buried Dagger, I'm like, oh, this is the story of how Mortarion becomes corrupted. Okay. Now, I think it was better than the story of how Fulgrim becomes corrupted.
At least, I don't know, at least Fulgrim had something whispering in his ear the whole time.
Yeah. Now,
this is better than Horus is Falling.
Oh, no, Horus is Falling was beautiful.
It was such a quick decision, though. It's just like, you know what? Fuck it, you're right.
I got Horus, though. Like, I respect that film. That's a debate for another time. But I will say, the problem I had was I thought Buried Dagger was a story about Mortarion's falling. If you add up the pages, it's like not even 20% of this book.
Yeah.
What? That's where my gripe is with this book. But all in all, the stories were good. But it was a short story book.
Yep.
They should have just ended with Heralds of the Siege.
Yeah, it would have just made more sense. I just don't understand the love for the Death Guard.
Yeah.
People really love Mortarion and the Death Guard.
So let's start there. Let's start with the fall of Mortarion and why it was
stupid.
So I'm not
I get it's supposed to be tragic, right?
It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was very his own fault. So I don't feel bad for him. Kind of like Magnus. Like, I don't feel bad for Magnus. Magnus did dumb shit.
I feel bad for Armin.
Yeah, I feel bad for Armin too. He just wants to get rid of the fucking flesh change.
There is no one to feel bad for in this book. Now, what I will say so Mortarion is just so fucking stupid.
Yep.
And is really the definition of a bitch here. Like, he kind of is. Like, all this book has shown me is Mortarion has never made a decision in his life.
Pretty much. Like, even like I don't even understand why he hates the Emperor.
Not at all.
Like the Emperor literally saved him. And he's like, I hate you
Forever.
It's like that's just kind of part of our fucking deal. What do you mean?
Yeah. The Emperor literally said, okay, if you kill him, then you're good. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then Mortarion almost died, and the Emperor saved his life. I mean, we made this comparison to Vulcan's story.
Yeah.
Literally identical. The Emperor and Vulcan enter a contest, and Vulcan thinks he won the contest, but the Emperor, who clearly won the contest, gave up his winnings to save Vulcan's life.
Yeah.
And then Vulcan venerated the Emperor, where Mortarion is just like really fucking upset about it.
I will hate you forever.
Yeah, it's
I just don't understand.
yeah. And another thing I want to talk about, I think we can. I want to focus. Let's shift gears and let's talk about the origins then, if that's where we're going.
Yeah, let's start with the origins. That makes more sense.
One thing that blew my mind about this whole thing is the Horus Heresy at its core, at its roots. You know, I think the Chaos Gods influenced a few different things, but it all actually started with Typhon.
Yeah.
And
he was the first.
Nurgle was super influential in that.
Yep.
And when you look at all of the other worlds that the Chaos Primarchs grew up in, the Chaos Gods weren't super representative there.
Dude, Zinj broke a statue.
Yeah, broke exactly. We're like, the people on Barbarous were actually worshiping Nurgle.
Yeah.
Like the overlords.
Yeah, he like read fucking books.
Yeah. A whole nother thing too that I didn't know. Is Typhus or Typhon? Is he like part Xenos?
I don't think so. No, I think he was just a psyker, and
Well,
I think that's why they were calling
son
him.
of an overlord.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're just human psychers.
So it talked about this in the book, where it was like they weren't really sure what the origins of the overlord were. One option was they were Xenos. One option was they were just like genetically altered humans. But what really confused me was when they captured one of the overlords, and it talked about how its head was like super elongated and it had like a weak neck and like a really frail body. It was like the way it described it seemed like an actual alien.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also a very poisonous place, so
Yeah.
maybe
The way they described it almost seemed more like an Eldar.
Yeah, like how you describe it's very Eldar-y.
Yeah.
And I mean, them being like super strong psychers would make sense, but
it's just confusing to me.
There's no way they would allow it.
The Imperium, right?
Yeah.
Because they'd get there and be like, sorry, you're half alien.
Yeah, you guys like fucking made a chaos god.
It just seems like, I don't know. It was weirdly described. He's definitely half something. Like he's not pure. Well, I don't know if that's a good word to use, but he's not like when they put him on the purity scale, he didn't quite fall into the rankings as the rest of the humans.
No, but he hit the ranking of can you kill shit, and that was high. Like, yeah, you're in.
Like the Oakrins, right? They're like, okay, like you're pretty fucked up, but
you can kill stuff.
I like it.
you got a good trigger finger? All right, you're in.
Yeah. I don't know. So the origins of Typhon are very interesting to me. And it goes into the backstory of how Mortarion was complicit in murdering humans at first.
Yeah, and so his foster father, was an overlord, and he just kept like basically trying to kill Mortarion, which I thought was hilarious. Like, all right, oh, you're still alive? Drink that poison.
Yeah, or I'm gonna put you up against this ridiculously powerful enemy.
Yeah, and then he's like, man, I could really use the tank. He's like, figure it out.
Fucking do your best, kid.
Here's a spade. Good luck.
Yeah. Mortarion eventually. What frustrates me about Mortarion's origin here is he leaves to help the humans, not to help the humans. Like he's just upset with the way Daddy's treating him.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, that's what happens again, I guess.
But not really?
Yeah. So Mortarion has like big daddy issues, is what I get.
Yeah.
And he doesn't actually have a moral compass other than hatred for daddy.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of fair.
Which is why Nurgle, I think, is appealing to him because he's like granddaddy.
Well, that's like the daddy's daddy, so that's got to be fine.
It's so weird when you boil it down. Like literally, Nurgle's whole selling point to Mortarion was like, "I'll be your papa."
Yeah, basically.
So Mortarion and Typhon work together to rally the humans and go fight the overlords, but they're never able to make it past the toxic clouds.
Yep.
And they have to return and retreat. But when they do, the Emperor's there waiting, and he makes a deal with Mortarion because Mortarion naturally hates him.
Yeah, and the deal is basically like, if you can go up there and kill him yourself, I will fuck off. However, if you cannot do that, you get to join the Imperium. Which, all right, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
And then Mortarion goes up and almost fucking dies. So what happens? The Emperor fucking saves his ass.
I mean, this is the problem with Mortarion's character, is he just never makes any sense. Okay? Think about this concept. You have somebody that's willing to help Mortarion kill his dad, but he has to swear his allegiance to him in the process. Okay? Does that remind you of anything that could be happening in the current storyline? Like Horus saying, "We're gonna go kill dad, but you have to swear allegiance to me." And Mortarion is down for it. So it's so strange to see literally the exact same decision occurring, but Mortarion have two completely different emotions about it. That being said, he is, I'm not going to say the only traitor Primarch, but one of the traitor Primarchs that believes that he's just like better than Horus and is eventually going to overthrow him with the Khan.
Yeah, I mean, he regrets his decision, but it's not because he regrets the side he's on. He just doesn't like Horus.
Yeah. And I do want to talk about one other important thing before we get to the resolution of the story is Typhon's character is a psyker, and Mortarion knows he's a psyker. And he's okay with it on Barbarous.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't do anything. He doesn't tell Typhon it's bad.
Yeah, which I mean it also makes sense if he's part overlord that he's a psyker.
Well, what's super interesting is Typhon at one point approaches Mortarion, is like, "Hey, we should use their weapons against them." And Mortarion's like, "No, I don't like trust the overlords." That's what Typhon is telling him that they should do, is like make golems out of the people that fight for them, which is like very different than, "Can I use my psychic powers?"
Yeah, it's a little fucked up.
Yeah, like Typhon's not like, "I'd love to shoot lightning bolts out of my hands." He's like, "We should clobber the people that are fighting for us into various different parts and then weld them together to make golems that are emotionless."
Yeah, which is like what the other guys do. Like they're like totally fine, like dealing with poisons.
The problem I have with the storyline is it seems very obvious that Mortarion's disgust for the overlords is in their tactics and not the fact that they're psychers.
Yeah.
So I'm very, because he's totally fine with Typhon being a psyker.
Yeah.
So I'm very confused with this whole storyline that we get in Demonology, where he just fucking hates psychers.
Well, even in this book, like Typhus talks about how he talked to the other psychers in the Legion into like making sure you hide it from Mortarion.
But Mortarion says he turned a blind eye, so he also knew.
Yeah.
So his infernal hatred for psychers that we saw in the storylines with Magnus, it just never adds up. Like it doesn't make any sense when you combine the fact with obviously Mortarion starts practicing like psychic shit.
Yeah, and he's a psyker in 40K.
Yeah, it's like where did this like weird hatred for psychers come from? Like we understand overlords are psychers, but so are your friends.
Yeah,
and psychers aren't summoning the dead.
Doing weird shit.
Yeah, very weird. So, well, he doesn't kill the Overlord.
Not and he doesn't kill him, and the fucking Emperor does it in one hit.
She's like, this is.
He literally just runs through the fucking like small, like, get the fuck off of me.
Just
runs up and just smacks him.
Hold your breath. Fucking.
What don't you understand? Nose plug. Put it on. Super easy.
Look, if you can just drop from space real quick, I can kill this guy with a fucking missile.
I don't even need to go down there. This
All
whole
you have to
planet
do is invent spaceports. Like, it's not hard, Mortarion. Fucking roll the door and invented the phalanx in his planet. And that's before I discovered him. Gilliman has an entire fucking system under his control before I discovered him.
You can't climb a mountain?
You can't even put a fucking torpedo in a spaceship? Like, you don't even know how to do that? It's so true though.
Yeah.
It's super frustrating. Mortarion's character is super frustrating because then we get to modern day times. All this is supposed to be reflective of what's happening in modern day times. If you remember, Typhon has been on a hiatus and he's returned. And the first request Typhon makes was, why don't you, I don't know, come to Terra with me on my ship?
Yeah, like I was told by like Malahurst to do that.
Yeah. It's like, it'll show unity between me and you. Now, if I was a Primarch, my response would be, bitch, listen.
It doesn't fucking matter.
You think I give a shit what anyone thinks about you? You think I'm gonna ride with you so everyone can make you feel good about yourself? It's like, you're a piece of shit. I hope everyone thinks you're a piece of shit because you've been gone for years.
Yeah, at this point, it has been years.
This whole concept, like, we need to unify the Death Guard. Mortarion cut down 7 of his best bodyguards to summon a demon in the last book. I don't think he gives a fuck about what these Death Guard are thinking about the other Death Guard. He's not worried about cliques forming in his fucking...
Man, I have such a rant about that. And then when it comes to the battle with Typhus.
It's so frustrating. So... Mortarion's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go on the ship with you.
Yeah, and his like new equerry is like, hey man, I don't trust that Typhon guy. He's like, no, he's like my best friend.
Literally everybody. Every single person that's not Typhon or on the ship with Typhon is like, you gotta watch out for that fucking Typhon guy. Even Typhon is like,
you start listening to me?
Yeah, he's looking super pale. Everything that Typhon does and looks like just screams sketchy as shit.
He's fucking throwing up everywhere, like limbs are falling. I'm like, no, this is fine.
Tyrion's like describing the whole time of the book how he just looks like shit. He's like, that's fine. Yeah, I'll go on your ship. Sounds like a great time. Oh, you know how we're made to be completely immune to every disease? You're not looking hot. Maybe I should be worried about my immune people jumping on board there.
One would think. And then be like, all right, well, let's go in the warp. What the fuck did they do, Gavin? They kill all the astropaths.
Oh, this is incredible.
And
this is incredible.
It's just guns all down the astropaths. And Mortarion's like, what the fuck? And he's like, no, dude, just listen to me. Mortarion's like, oh yeah, okay.
It's I don't.
They might have been traitors.
No sense. Again, obviously, Typhon, whatever, does something in the warp and makes some Death Guard people sick. Which, by the way, how powerful is that shit? Like, why didn't they just do that to the Blood Angels? Why wasn't there some side that was like, I'm just gonna activate the Blood
Rage? I forgot about
randomly.
They go in when they went to the warp and everyone's getting sick, including Mortarion, and Typhus is just standing there. And Mortarion even like points out, like, wow, he's doing just fine. I'm choking to death.
Great.
Why are they not questioning
him? He looks
him?
like shit, but not as shitty as everyone else looks.
Why did he question him? Like, maybe we should put that down. Like, there's something fucked up with that.
Yeah. Well, they get into the warp. Some people get sick. Typhon's like, I'm gonna figure this out for you, boss. Which is already like,
I see he was standing there completely fine. Like, yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, it's super strange. I'm gonna investigate. I was like, you think
This is not normal.
oh there's still some we got some
Shit, poor me, buddy.
I was waiting for you to finish. But yeah, so Typhon comes back. He does he's like, listen, Mortarion, we're gonna go out into the warp and do a little warp ritual. Turns like, yeah, that's fine. Just don't reanimate people from the dead. Because that's the no.
There's a line we cross, and that ain't it.
Yeah, just don't like take people's body parts apart and stitch them back together and allow them to
I got PTSD from that.
Fuck, yeah, that's just not cool. But lightning and shit, whatever you gotta do, you figure it out. And he gets Typhon's resolution to this is like, oh yeah, it's these guys, it's these astropaths. And the astropath is like, no, it's not.
It's like, no, yeah, we've been like following you guys for literally like centuries. Like, we're Gucci.
Typhon just goes,
why would we like now betray? Like, we've been doing this whole bullshit thing. Like we're with you. Like, we're great. Like, we're best friends. Like, I sucked your dick yesterday. Please.
Typhon just goes, well, that's enough from you. Fucking nose down. No one stops him. The Primarchs are like really fucking fast.
Yeah.
You'd think that Mortarion would be able to just stop him, but no, he just lets the astropaths get gunned down as they're speaking logical sense in front of him. And Typhon's like, don't worry, I'll look. Mortarion's like, how the fuck are we gonna get out of here? That's his worry. His first concern isn't like, what the fuck, dude? They were talking to me. I was having a conversation with these guys.
You were not involved in this.
What was that? You just fucking go off and start mowing shit down. The world, dude, you just fucking murder people for fun now. But he's like, how are we gonna get it to the warp? It's like, don't worry, I got you. Like, so fucking suspicious, right?
Wait, hold on. So you survived the choking incident, weren't even affected by it. We lost a bunch of fucking humans.
Go out on the
I
warp
thought I was gonna
platform.
die, but you were just standing there fine, like, all right, yeah, I can get past that. Killed all our fucking astropaths you can see through the warp. I don't know if I can look past that.
Yeah. Oh, you just so happen to contrive a situation that I need to rely on you to get out of the warp.
That's
How
not sketchy.
Interesting. That's what I'm saying. Death Guard are pretty big. You're telling me Mortarion, first off, Mortarion's a psyker.
Hmm?
Okay. At that point, I would be like, I'll figure it out. You fucking go over there.
I'm sure there's like a button that's like get out of the warp.
Yeah.
Like, I doubt
That's
there's
why you don't I don't know if you need a navigator. I'm sure you do. But at the same time,
at least
it's
to
like,
navigate the warp, but there's gotta be a
Yeah.
button that says get me out.
well, not only that, okay, Typhon's been doing his shit. You're telling me that every fucking psyker in the Death Guard like owes their shit to Typhon. You're telling me that if Mortarion didn't call Psyker 17 up, is like, yeah, fuck that guy, get us out of the warp. He's not gonna be like, well, I mean, you're the Primarch.
Yeah, I mean,
And I really appreciate you calling me on my personal line.
yeah, I mean, look, how you want to be a captain?
Yeah, I'll promote the shit out of you. I'm about to kill this guy. You can take his place and get us out of the warp.
You want to be first captain? Because this guy's fucking ugly.
I'll show you options. Maggots coming out of your body. First captain of the Death Guard. You choose. But here we are. He didn't make that decision. He was like, yeah, I'll believe you, Typhon.
Yeah, we're best buds.
We're fucking cool. Remember that one time you tried to convince me to kill a bunch of people and turn them into golems? That was fucking sweet.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in like 5 years, and like you've been ignoring my texts.
You kind of look like shit. You should hit the gym more, buddy.
You know, makeup might help.
Get a little concealer on there.
You definitely need the eyeliner, buddy. That eye's like about to poke out.
Green is not your color today. So I don't even know how to describe what happens next. Basically, some people start getting sick. One of them
But, like,
turns
too
into a
sick.
zombie.
Yeah.
And Mortarion's like, I know where I need to go for this. Goes to the death virus.
Yeah, though.
Demon.
Fuck, what's it called? World
Gruglor was who
the Life Eater virus.
yeah, who is inhabiting Gruglor.
Yep.
And he's like, Hey, you swear loyalty to me and I'll let you out. Genius.
So yeah, dude, I'll totally kill for you.
Absolutely. I'll kill for you anytime.
I'm a fucking demon.
Yeah, I will literally do it even if you didn't ask. You drop me anywhere and those guys are gonna fucking die. Like, trust me.
I'm literally a virus.
I'm literally made of nothing but killing agents.
I'm a nuke.
Will you kill for me? Dude, I'll kill for your mom. I don't give a shit, dude. Whatever you want me to kill for, put me in there, we're going. So he goes and confronts Typhon, who, oh my gosh, get this. He's a bad guy.
Holy shit! I would have never have guessed that the guy that tricked them into the warp, killed all their navigators, also didn't talk to you for 7 years, is a bad guy.
I just feel like this is like like an Inspector Clouseau moment, you know, where it's like, who are all the possible suspects? And it goes through all the different people that could be causes. Could it be the Imperium? Could it be the Alpha Legion? Could it be Corvus Corax? And then it shows Typhon, who's this like super sickly, evil looking motherfucker.
Like, we have like an eye hanging out, like half of his face is decayed off.
Might be him. So yeah, it was Typhon the whole time. He does he summons Mortarion summons the virus guy.
They fight first. And
Tell me
Typhon,
about this.
dude, we have a Primarch, right?
Mortarion's a bitch, dude.
A Primarch that killed his 7 best bodyguards in one swoop.
Just
apparently, Typhon is so familiar with him that they're an even match.
Where's Typhon at on your Primarch rankings?
He should be fucking as high as Mortarion, but what the fuck?
Jeez. Yeah, they go toe to toe for a minute.
How many first captains do you think can stand up to their Primarch?
3.
Which 3? Savitar?
Savitar.
You think Abaddon and Horus?
I think Horus before the fall, they would have had a good bout.
That's fair.
Savitar stands up to his Primarch every day. And I think Sigismund could fight Dorn.
Yeah, Dorn's a bitch.
I mean, like, Karn's great, but he's getting fucking bodied by Angron.
He already got bodied by
He
Angron.
gets bodied constantly by Angron.
Yeah, I mean, Router Orin's a badass, but
ain't no fucking way.
Sanguinius is a motherfucking
ain't no way. I can't even.
Who's the first captain of the Ultramarines?
Oh, Typh. It's Typh.
Wasn't he the one that did the best battle in space? Or was that his equerry? The greatest battle
No,
of all time.
Rabuse was there. He was there. He was present. He's got a guy. He's not that great.
Yeah.
You know how like all the 30K names are the same as like the 40K names?
Yep.
It's that guy. Like who's in charge? Calgar?
Yeah, Calgar.
His name's probably something like Calgar. My assumption.
I'm trying to think like
Lucius.
Lucius isn't that first captain though.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think like who's
Edelon is the first captain over there.
Edelon did go. He got his fucking head shot.
He did get his head shot, which is an expected result.
Fulgrim, yeah,
from the Primarch.
Yeah.
The Primarch should fuck up every single star
Yeah.
race.
There's only 3 Space Marines that I'm like, you are fucking badass, and even then,
like they should be like on like Lorgar level.
Yeah,
not fucking.
Oh, I think Erebus could beat the shit out of Lorgar.
Probably. I don't know, man. Erebus got the fucking shit kicked out of him by Karn.
Erebus, we never know. So, yeah, they fight. Some warp stuff happens. Now, this is what I appreciate. I'll give John French his fucking credit.
This isn't John French, though.
I'll give James Swallow his fucking credit. I'm sorry, I'm on the next book already. I'll give James Swallow his fucking credit. Like, he doesn't linger on shit that doesn't need to be lingered on. You know, like he's like, okay, we're doing a fight scene and there's demon shit involved. I'm not gonna shove shit up people's asses. Like, we're just gonna like do a little tassel, little hit tit tat. It's gonna be 6 pages, and then we're gonna move on.
One thing I didn't really like about this in that battle is at one point Mortarian's like, I don't think I can beat you. So he summons the fucking demon.
No, the demon's gonna beat him. And then this is fucking nuts. The dude who is summoning viruses is in cahoots with the virus demon.
The best part is like I was listening to the audiobook and like the guy would have like his voice for the demon was hilarious. It was like hello. So
was great.
they're like talking about the battle and then like and they're laughing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why? Martera, did you think I was on your side?
Just like, go to Nurgle just to not hear that.
I'm like mowing. I'm you have this whole thing where like him and like Typhon like battle for like 10 seconds and they just start laughing.
Yeah.
And then Mortarian's like, well, this isn't a fucking joke.
Oh, this is fucking weird.
The fucking virus is like, my allegiance is the Papa Nurgle. Are you idiot?
And Mortarian is just like, all right, and just starts. He just leaves. He's like, I will.
Fuck, what do I do?
I don't even know. I'm gonna go for a walkabout. He just leaves, walks out of the room, starts walking around, makes himself to this area.
Starts smoking a cigarette, like, fuck, what do I do here?
I can imagine. I mean, that's probably what I would do in that scenario.
He's on his patio.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
You wouldn't get it.
And literally, Nurgle comes to him at one point, and the end of his story is Nurgle says, I'll be your papa. And Mortarian's like, that's all I've ever wanted.
Then he grows fucking wings.
And that's the story of Mortarian and the Death Guard. Still don't know why people like them.
Nope.
But they're better than the lion.
You know, that's true.
I would take Mortarian over the lion any day.
That is
Here's
true.
The thing. Mortarian, I wanted to say, had the clout to back it up in combat, but we've seen Mortarian do nothing but lose.
Yeah.
Constantly. So that's half the book. The other half is the Grey Knights. Now, yeah, I'm about to say something's going to blow your mind here.
Yeah.
I hate how the Grey Knight storyline ended, but I have went from hating Garo to loving Garo. Garo shined in this fucking book, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this is where the Grey Knights are finally created.
So did Loken, by the way. Loken and Garo both shine in this book, so we'll point that out.
They do. So we start with, is it Rubio who we start with?
Yeah, Rubio tries to save this guy's life, who attempts to commit suicide, but Malcador stops him. And I have decided as well that Malcador is my least favorite character. I hate Malcador. I hate the way Malcador is written. I don't want anything to do with this fucking guy. Malcador is such a shitty character, in my opinion.
I like Malcador, but I don't like how everyone has written Malcador.
Yeah.
Like, he is too mysterious for no reason.
He's just simply...
Like, the Emperor is supposed to be the mystery, right? Malcador shouldn't be. He should be an open fucking book. Yeah. We should know everything about Malcador. We should know where he's from, what he is, how long he's been around, why he sucks the Emperor's dick.
My biggest problem with Malcador is you don't know what his intentions are. And that's a big issue, because there has been nothing whatsoever in any of these novels to convince me that Malcador is this good guy looking out for the soul of the Imperium. This is what kills me about Malcador. You could ask one of these writers, what do you think about Malcador? Malcador is great. He's trying to save the Imperium. Like, really? Because like nothing that you wrote about when it comes to Malcador shows me that. Malcador is arrogant.
Yep.
Malcador is power hungry for sure.
Also insanely powerful for we have no idea why
Yeah,
or
no
how.
like reasoning. Yeah.
Like if
And
there's this random super powerful psyker, same thing like the Emperor. There's got to be another one somewhere. There's got to be at least like as big as the galaxy is, right?
yeah.
You have 2 on Terra, and I would assume there's at least 2 on every highly populated planet.
Yeah, very strange that they came there. But then at the same time, the problem I have with Malcador's character is like authors tend to use him, but don't give like reasonings. So Malcador's character seems very scattered. Like I don't know what the fuck he wants. And there's one moment in this book that greatly alludes to the fact that Malcador may be plotting against the Emperor, by the way. And he's like, oh fuck. And they never talk about that. Like, there's nothing that's written about Malcador so far. I haven't gotten into the siege yet. That I'm like, this guy's a good guy. There's nothing that they've done. Like
I'm assuming his final hour. This is supposed to be his moment to shine.
Sure. He legitimately fears death. It talks about in this book many times that like he's done shit that make people want to commit suicide when they hear it. And I'm like, okay, so Malcador's kind of the guy where like the ends probably don't justify the means.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen that so many times with his character. I don't think Malcador's a good guy. I think he's power hungry.
I mean, I don't think the Emperor's a good guy either.
I agree with that, but I think Malcador does it more so out of the desire for power and control. Like Malcador loves the fact that he's human and has control. We saw that when the Emperor's playing Regicide with him, and he's like, actually, you're a piece of shit, Malcador, and I'm using you. That killed him because he felt like he's not important. He was like, oh, you think you've built the Imperium, but the Imperium built you. And Malcador hated that.
I mean, but who wouldn't, be offended by that?
I just think Malcador has been put in this position of power. He loves power. He does everything he can to keep the power by keeping secrets from people. And it's disguised as this way to protect people by keeping these secrets. But we also know that based off this book, when he tells people the things that he's done, it drives them crazy because of how evil some of these acts have been. And the authors can continue to tell us it's for the good of humanity, but nothing that I've seen Malcador actually do in the books has led to a betterment for humanity yet. That's the problem I have. Is like they always say this is the idea of Malcador, but they haven't shown me that in his actions and the results of those actions.
Yeah, I think Malcador just being an extension of the Emperor is just bad writing in general.
It's really bad writing. They use him as a tool. It's almost like with Alfarius. Insert random bad guy here. Is it Alfarius? Is it not? What are his intentions? You don't know because it's Alpha Legion. It's just like, okay, so it's just like random bad guy.
Yeah, my dog's freaking out. It just doesn't make sense that we have this insanely powerful character who's this puppet, I guess, of the Emperor, but we don't have anything about him.
Yeah.
But I like the story of the person he keeps talking to in this story.
Yeah, so let's recap a little bit. So basically the concept of the story is the knight errants are continuing to find sisters of silence that are going mad and these various religious encampments that were originally Lecto Leviticus, but turned out to be secret chaos cults, essentially.
Yep.
So they're collecting them all, and you come to find out that it's a message of peace for Malcador and Horus. So Malcador goes, listens to these Sisters of Silence underneath a secret bunker. But of course, he loses his powers around the Sisters of Silence. And it turns out not to be a message of peace. It turns out to be a trap.
I would have never guessed.
The story behind this is actually kind of cool, though. Because Rubio, who's a Knights Errant,
Yep.
He's a psyker. He was picked up from Calth by Garo.
Yep.
He goes down with Malkador to receive the message.
Question. Oh, Erebus was on Calth. He's the one that opened
Yes.
the gate.
Yeah.
But when I was reading this, I was like, wait, when was Erebus on Calth? Because I remember Corfarion being there because he's the one that led it.
Yeah, the
I
greatest
forgot
space
that
battle of all time.
he did have the greatest. I forgot that Erebus showed up, slid a hole, and like walked into it and just disappeared.
So we come to find out that Erebus on Calth actually implanted false memories into Rubio's head that were activated by the Sisters of Silence in this basement to attempt to kill Malkador, which doesn't work because Malkador is apparently able to just body Space Marines.
Yeah, this is like, I don't understand how things work with the Sisters of Silence. Like, they completely shut down like people like Rubio.
Well, he didn't have psychic powers. He used the machine that was attached to his body to generate a force field.
Yeah, but like think like the Emperor. He's surrounded by like 50 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine.
Well, it's the Emperor. Rules don't apply to the Emperor, you know?
It's bullshit.
So
it's all bullshit.
That's how it is.
What's even the point of them being around the Emperor then?
To protect from other psychers that can be shut off by the Sisters of Silence.
If he's powerful enough to ignore the fucking blanks.
Well, that's the concept, right? It's like the Emperor, obviously, it blows my mind too. Is the Emperor isn't going to be killed by the bombers on Caliban. that shit ain't going to happen. So the concept of guarding the Emperor, like the custodians are like worthless, honestly, in the whole storyline because the Emperor could just close the door. They didn't need no one. They never needed the custodians. So, yeah, it's really interesting when you think about the power dynamics of that. But Malkador changes Rubio's mind back to normal-esque, and the other part of the story is Garo, who just fucking lays it on Malkador. He's basically like my voice. And it's like, Malkador, you're fucking weird. You keep fighting different people. You look like a fucking nerd. Like, stop fucking around, dude. He's the one that makes Rubio go down with them. He's fighting the Lord of Flies again because he does that every other book.
Yeah, and every time Lord of Flies is like, I told you I'll be back. And he's like, God damn it.
Fuck.
This fucking guy.
Exactly. So he fights some things, he investigates some things as Garo does naturally. But the ending of their story is interesting, and in my opinion, I hate it. So the ending of the story is Malkador brings the bunch of the Knight Errants together, 9 Knight Errants total. And he gives them coins. There's 8 coins, right? And that's their new name. It's supposed to be, I think, a mirror to like the Lodge coins, essentially. Yep. It's supposed to be their new name. So he shows them this future of like the warp in reality consuming people. But this is super confusing. It's not what happens if Horus wins. It's what happens if Horus loses / wins, and then we fail the future. So, like, that's supposed to be the future in 40K without the Grey Knights, is what he's basically saying. So he's like, your war is not
the Horus Heresy.
In the Horus Heresy, which in my opinion is like the authors sitting there like, fuck, we have way too many characters to write about. How can we write their story out of the 30K timeline so we don't have to worry about it?
I don't know if this gets talked about in Horus Heresy, so I'll just say, or in the Siege, but I'll just say this here. Supposedly, what happens is Malkador sends Titan into the warp.
So they train in the warp.
And they miss the entire Siege.
Which is such garbage writing. Because those are a bunch of characters. We had Severin. We had
Anus.
Anus
He's leading.
Oh, Shard.
He turns to Janus.
Yeah, he's a Shard of fucking
Magnus.
Yeah, nope. Fucking forget about that one. He's gonna go into the warp. Okay, fine.
And lead.
Yeah, so like Severin. Oh, let's talk about Severin for a second. Walks into the room, and Loken's like, "Oh yeah, he was on Moloch with us." I'm like, "Yeah, he was," and then he escaped with you, and then he randomly appeared on some frigate with a perpetual, and he helped rescue her kids. Now he's back on Terra. Where's that perpetual?
Yeah.
What the fuck
Where's
is
the
Severin
kids?
been doing? What's going on? So that's never addressed in this book. Severin just walks in, is like, "Yeah, I've been retconned."
What's up, bitches?
There's the
We have a Night Lord.
we have the Night Lord, whose literal sole purpose in the Horus Heresy is to get discovered in that short story and then disappear at the end of this book. Not even a character. You have Loken, some random space wolf.
Yep.
There's
Some no name or
two no names.
Unlegionfied.
Two Unlegionfies, which is so frustrating to me because you have so many people, "Oh, that's Savitar." I'm like, what a fucking weak ass. Like, how this is weak ass writing to me. Because like they're like, okay, we're gonna write them out of the story so it's be in there. And since we have so many loose ends with all these characters, we're just gonna say, and two extra people who we won't name to confirm where they went. Like, weak writing.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason people speculate that one is Sevitar is because of the weapon. He's allegedly was a Night Lord. He's very cocky.
No, never alleged that it's a night.
So, as I mentioned in this, it's one of the why the theory said it, and because one of them is fuck, what was it? The weapon, the cockiness, the
Is it the name or the...
no, it's not the name. It's I mean, all their names are fucking obscure.
I hate it. I hate that ending. I hate if that's the truth. Like, what? Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, well, another one is because ADB also commented on the post. I was like,
AV never wrote Sevitar.
he's the creator of Sevitar. All
Did
the short...
ADB write Prince of Crows?
Yes.
My bad. Sorry, ADB. That's just weak. Like, give us a good Sevitar ending. Like, you can't create a character in a series and then just like not finish a story and then like some random unnamed character
10,000 years later he appears.
That's that dude. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. But
we have let's start with Garo first. After Macador does all this, he basically tells Garo, is like, look, you're not part of this.
It's so funny to me actually when this happened because they brought Garo into the chamber, the 10th legionary, and then they
And you're fired.
9 clones, and they got to Garo, and Malcador's like, "Oh fuck, my bag's empty. Maybe you shouldn't have talked so much fucking shit to me." So we're gonna go into space time, and we're gonna live for tens of thousands of years, and you can suck my dick, Garo. You can stay here and run around with all your fucking saint shit all day long. But Garo does get to take vacation time.
He does gotta take vacation time.
Doesn't have a master, apparently, or whatever that means.
Yeah, which is, it's kind of weird, right? Like, what does a rogue Astartes do?
Well, I'll tell you what a rogue Astartes does. He
Dies.
gets written the story in such a way that he gets to become rogue at the exact moment that Horus has entered the star system. So he's got to fight anyway, and then he dies. So we don't get just one rogue Astartes, though. We get two.
Yeah, so we have Loken, who looks at his coin, and it's a name that's pretty close to Cerebus, which is, but not Cerebus. And he's like, yeah, I've already had a fake name once. I'm not doing that again. I'm just fucking Loken.
He gets all the way there. The Emperor shows up.
Yeah.
And like talks to him.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Loken's like, nah, something's not sitting right with me. I don't, just fuck this. I'm out of here.
So my prediction, I have no idea what Loken's story is like in the siege or anything. My prediction, the last page of the book of part 2 of the end and the death or whatever, is Loken saying, "I was there the day that horse slayed the emperor."
Maybe. I don't know a lot, but I will say that Loken's name, at least, and a storyline does involve Loken in the very first book. I don't know like what the outcome of it is yet. I'm about halfway through.
I just want to be surprised if Dan Abnett starting it, Dan Abnett ended it with the same character.
Yeah.
In the same sentence.
That'd be great.
Launched it all.
It'd be great. I mean, kudos to Dan for carrying this on his.
Has he though?
On his above average.
And it's 35 characters every book that are all brand new except for one.
Yeah, I don't know. So this novel was good. I had a fun time reading it. I hate the ending almost to both of these stories. I hate the founding of the Grey Knights. I think the founding of the Grey Knights is weak ass writing. I think it's a scapegoat. Like, you're just abandoning characters that you've built up throughout the series to just be like, oh, that's their end, because you don't know what to do with them in the siege.
Yeah.
And you're also using those two extra people as a bit of a scapegoat to say, oh, when anyone else's storyline who we didn't finish, maybe it's Narek, maybe it's Sevatar, maybe it's Steel, like probably not. But like all of these random characters that we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, bad placement. We talked about that already. There should have been a different book here. It's not that I didn't enjoy this book. I enjoyed. God damn, I would have just ended there right there. It's not that I didn't like this book. I thought it was a good book.
Yeah.
I just don't think it belonged as the transition to the siege.
I mean, James Swallow does an amazing job with descriptive writing. He does an amazing job with like keeping me on the edge of the seat. But like, I just think there was decisions made that James Swallow had to adhere to.
Yep.
That was like, that's not great.
Yep.
And Mortarion the bitch.
Personal enjoyment, Gavin?
I mean, I think it was a 6.5. Like, I did enjoy this book.
Yeah, I was going to give it a 7 myself. Importance to Heresy. I mean, it's knowing Mortarion's fall is probably important. I don't think the Grey Knight storyline is important because we don't see them.
You can ignore the entire Grey Knight storyline in this entire series. The only thing you would have to read is the fact that Loken came back.
Loken and Garo.
Well,
so
Garo has a whole. Garo's in Eisenstein.
Yeah,
you don't even have to worry about Garo.
Yeah, but if you're going through the books and you see there's a fucking knight errant, and then you get to, I'm assuming whatever happens.
Just think Loken and Garo are back.
Yeah, whatever happens in his siege book, I'm assuming is going to talk about some of him.
Yeah, its name's Garo.
Yeah,
so I would hope so.
Yeah, points to Heresy, maybe 5.
A 5? I'd say higher. Like, it would be really weird to go into Siege and you get Demon Primarch Mortarion.
It would be, but how much is Mortarion at the Siege after that?
He's there. I think he fights.
I'm sure he starts it, but I could also see him just leaving.
He does not start it, which is a big
detriment. That makes no sense because he's the first. He was the first one sent.
No, yeah. Like, he doesn't even make an appearance in the first attacks of.
Well, that makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
Okay, this book became a 1.
It makes no sense in that scenario, but yeah. I know he's there. He's obviously in Garo. I'm pretty sure he fights the Khan at one point.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's a thing, but I would like to know how he became a Demon Primarch. If you needed it, I'd give it maybe a 7 on importance. Sure. But you could just know Mortarion's a bitch, and that's how he's a Demon Primarch.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise you at all.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. That's the review of the Buried Dagger. It's the last book of the Horus Heresy. Next week we will be planning a special. We will hopefully have a special with the Horus Hour guys, and then we will also have a third special before we get into the siege itself. Mm-hmm. Give ourselves a break from reading, shoot the shit, catch up on a lot of things that we just haven't been able to do, like Primark rankings. We want to do
Want to rank all the books?
Yep, we want to rank all the books. We want to streamline our reading order.
Maybe the authors too. How we feel about how the authors.
Oh
did.
man, we should wait until after Gen Con.
I mean, again, don't want to talk shit about any of the authors.
Yeah,
It's just when you read 54 novels, you have opinions. That's just how it
opinions
works.
are deep and they are strong.
Yes.
Yep, so that's it for us, guys. As always, hit us up on the Discord. You find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube at the Heresy Lodge. We have merch. I'm repping the shirt right now. Check it out. You can find that in the show notes. I will have it in the description. If you play side tickets, check out Pants of Horse, discord.gg/Pants of Horse.
And we did open a Sam Adams.
We did open up the Sam Adams remastered Boston Lagers. Yeah, I don't remember what the regular ones taste like, but I enjoy Sam Adams.
Well,
So that's it. Yep, that's it for us, guys. You have a good one.